reasons why we're here today is to recognize Peggy's husband, Bob. Never had the pleasure of meeting him, but if you hear folks that know him and talk about him, and of course his family, needless to say, we're very proud of him, and I'm sure the Navy is too. He was on board the Forrestal that day in an A-6, taxiing up to the forward cap when the catastrophe struck. They shut him down, left the airplane sitting right there. I would assume he got involved in the rescue of everything that was going on. So at this time, what we would like to do is show a short video of the man that we're here talking about. So you can get to know who he is and what he stands for.
That was played with it on before.
Yeah, it was muted. Come on, Tex.
As you can see, I'm not getting involved in that. A lady once asked me how I managed to get along in life. I picked up an ink pen, a piece of paper, and I said, "This is my computer."
That doesn't even have a mega brand.
On July 29, 1967, in the Gulf of Tonkin off of Vietnam, a catastrophic accident occurred on the USS Forrestal. Patriots Point volunteer Bob Williams was actually there. Let's listen to his story.
The Forrestal was the first supercarrier. It was the first one with the annual deck, had around 5,300 men. We were back on the Forrestal and we were going down back to Vietnam, and they were getting ready to be an Alpha Strike. An Alpha Strike is a group of 35 to 40 aircraft heading for one target. I was sitting on the starboard side. The A-6s were here, and then the FA-8s were here, and the F-4s here, and then the A-4s were lying out here on this side, getting ready to launch. So I was in my aircraft. So I was moving forward and started moving maybe 50 feet or something like that. Started moving towards the catapult. And about that time, there was a Soviet rocket that had come from on the starboard side, the one across the flight deck, and another A-4 in a tank being started. I looked back and I could see it looked like a fire fan. Crazy stuff going on. Bomb went off. People running around and everything. All the smoke and everything. Looked out back side of me, back that way, and a couple more bombs went off. And I don't know how many or whatever. I think they say that afterwards that there were 9 bombs that had been off. And plus there were some rockets went up, some rockets were up. And at the end says we had fuel come out of our starboard wing. The wings were still folded. And I looked out and I could see it looked like a stream of fuel about this coming out of the wing. And going on the deck and shut it down, opened the canopy, dropped down the jet. And we went around behind the island, and there must have been 20-some people back there. And saw a guy, found a guy with a big chunk out of his right knee, and we decided we were going to carry him down to sick bay. If you didn't know where sick bay was, you could follow the blood. You could see them working on people back behind us. A lot of them were killed. I believe it was 34. I know several of them that survived, but I also know some that were killed too.
That story pretty much says just like it is, or was.
I was already in a fighter squadron in 1986 when Top Gun came out, so that movie didn't influence me. But in 1980,